During November and December, there's a good chance that you're going to have more people coming through your home than at any other time of the year.
Yes.
No pressure.
I know.
But we want to help you make a good impression on your guests.
This is the time, too, when you think about making those changes that need to be made. So we asked you to post pictures of the problem areas in your homes to our Facebook page. You know, they're the spots that you just can't really figure out what you want to do with, and then you just leave them empty for years.
Yes.
I know. Interior designer Susie Ries, who also happens to be my mom, is here with advice on how to fix a few of those problem areas up. So these people are saying, Susie Ries, help my house.
I know.
And they're shouting it from the rooftops. And Mom, this is what happens to you every time you go over to someone's house. They start immediately peppering you with questions.
They do. This is what we love, though. We love to problem solve. We walk in and they say, excuse the mess, and we go, we only see potential. We only see what can happen. Our minds are just working. So this was so much fun. So we'll try to get to as many as we got. We got so many responses.
I love that. Okay, so Laura from St. Michael, she posed our first problem, and she says she has a huge wall that her kids are constantly running by, and so she's nervous about the idea of putting like a table there, right?
She is. So Laura, a natural thing, because you do have an outlet there, so that's a beautiful place for a table.
Yeah.
But with that problem, you have a great break on this wall, so make that a really good, fun color. And then you can just put some natural art on it, some black and white, some different things like this.
Oh, cool.
Exactly. That's just a real graphic, color, simple thing to do. Your kids could probably even do that too.
Okay.
And that's then they won't run into anything. Now this is another fun idea where you really contrast that wall. And then I have an example of using some IKEA frames or some shadow box frames like this.
Okay.
And so what you can do here is do it very symmetrical, just like that photo was. And look how wonderful this is. This is magnetic wallpaper.
Oh, cool.
And keep your matting, and then put this in behind us. You want to order a roller too.
Yeah.
And then look what you can do with your kids' art. And you can have that all,
cool.
it
And
literally,
then switch it out.
the kids can come and change their own art. I did this in a home with the kids are really quite good artists, and they have more fun doing that.
That is really cute.
Yeah, it's really fun.
And so then she's in a situation where, okay, so she's picturing her kids are getting bigger. At some point, she's going to want to do a beautiful table, you know, something there. But this, in the meantime, is an inexpensive option to fill up that wall and make it look great.
Exactly. And if you keep it neat and confined, it won't look like a refrigerator full of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, little coloring things.
That's
You've got it all set. Yeah, it's
really fun.
Unfortunately,
kids, they make you think about all these sort of strange things.
They do.
Right, the next problem is from Rachel in Winona. So the problem that she says is that she just bought her first house, and she doesn't know what to do with a small kitchen, small dining room, small space.
This is a tough one.
Oh, Rachel, this has so much potential.
Oh, good.
I love to hear that, Rachel.
I had more fun with this one because I think every little nookie area should be just charming.
Yeah.
So there's just so many things to do with this. So one thing is a photograph that I found of a very colorful wall.
Okay, of a small space.
You can put in here.
Oh, nice.
And just do an art gallery right there. I think a round table would be much lovelier here than your square.
Okay.
And then you had a fan there on yours also too, and I would just do a chandelier, have it dangle right on down there.
Cute.
And bring some charm.
Yeah, right.
And then one other thing I would probably do is she had a window treatment there. This is another wonderful little graphic design. That just one little why hello. Wouldn't you just want to go sit down in that little corner with the table?
Super cute.
It's super fun. Now for her window treatment, get a Roman shade on both. She had two windows on adjacent to each other.
Yeah.
A Roman shade mounted almost all the way to the ceiling. And outside mount, so outside your window, and that will raise the height of that charming little corner, and then just bring them down.
And that's going to make it look a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah, totally.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Mount
She's
high
good at
enough.
this.
All right.
Listen, I know.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, this is good. This is how I went to college, is because this is what she does. Okay, so Lori from Cottage Grove has another problem, and she says there's no separation between her dining room and her living room.
A lot of people have this
is a big, which you love that openness, but then it's kind of like, what's happening
Where
here?
do we do?
Yeah.
Yes, and there's two really good solutions with that. That's a very common problem. You know, everyone has the kitchen in Minnesota, and then the family room extends.
Yeah, which is
and
great.
they're usually long and narrow, so you can't move your furniture around too much.
Yep.
So here's one idea that you can do is you can separate it with like a coffee bar or build in a piece. That is actually usable right there.
Yeah.
So don't just put a plain old stick of furniture there, but put that right there, and
That
then
turns
you
that
have
into
plenty
functional space,
room
too.
as you notice, there's nothing right there in the separating, so you can go right on in.
Okay.
This is another idea, long and narrow. And do a tall, leaner mirror or something to expand your space in your kitchen.
Okay.
Leave that blank space and then do a round table or square table, a big substantial lamp, and you can see art way down on the end. So you've literally separated it with two great big pieces.
Okay, and you don't be afraid to put the table right in the middle of the room, because it looked like in that picture she kind of had it wedged up against the wall, like she was just kind of trying to hide it, but make it something that you actually love. Okay.
All right, let's get to another one. Allison from Elk River. She has an oversized blank wall that you see there. What to do with that? You can take that in a lot of different directions.
I know.
That's
it's beautiful. Looks like that shot was down, looking down over through a loft or something.
Yep.
Big tall windows. I would definitely do floor-to-ceiling drapes on each side of those windows, and then on that big wall, the least expensive thing, because she was so cute, she mentioned that, you know, I don't want to break Prince Charming's bank here. Let's try to get something there.
Right.
So a great big mirror, as big as you can find, will really be the least expensive and give you the most impact.
Sure.
And if you do drape panels on each side of those long windows, you won't have a sea of gloss. Now this is another really great idea. That isn't too expensive. You can take black and white photos or find some very simple frames. Notice they're all the same size, really close, and the same frame. That keeps it from looking too discombobulated.
Okay.
And they carried that all the way through that huge long area. And it drew your eye to making it all seem like one.
I think that looks really cool.
I thought that looked
I really like that a lot.
Too.
Okay, what about Jessica from Maplewood? Here's her problem. She says she's moving around her furniture all the time in this room, and nothing feels like it's the right fit.
Yes.
Yeah, and she obviously, like, she's got kids, so she's got things going on all over the place.
Yes, that's, the inspiration shot I'll show you next, and that one shows where if you can possibly get two sofas that are matching.
Okay.
In a neutral, that will help it feel just a little more serene, a little more put together.
Yeah.
And then don't be afraid to put one of your sofas in front of those windows. This shot I'm showing you has two windows just like Jessica did.
Yep.
And you do those long, simple panels, breaking it in between the windows, and then go ahead and flank your two sofas right facing each other. People love to sit in lounge and look at each other on the sofas. And she had two sweet little chairs and just put those where that one sofa was.
I'll give a little testament to that, having the sofas face each other. I was always opposed to that idea, and we had a tricky space because our sort of dining nook right out of the kitchen goes right into the family room. And then we finally, nothing worked, it all felt too closed. We turned them into each other. Instead of just the facing the TV, and it made a world of difference.
It does, and you can still lay down on that sofa and see the TV.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think Jessica probably feels like there's a lot going on. I mean, do you think, because that one simple thing, and obviously a sofa's a big piece to decide to make a change on, but she had the floral sofa going on, where if you switch that to the neutral, it's automatically going to make everything feel...
just kind of feel a little bit calmer for her.
Okay.
And turning them facing each other, I think will really help.
Good advice, Susie.
Good stuff. Susie Ries
fun.
knows her stuff. If you'd like to get a little help from Susie, we've got a link to her website on ours. You can also find some recommendations from Susie on a few books that might inspire you in your own home. Just go to TwinCitiesLive.com and click on Fun, because no one is more fun than Elizabeth's mom.
Listen, I can attest to that. She's the most fun.
Yeah, you've experienced it.
Thanks, Mama. Okay, coming